What is going on, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in. Back with another video. Today, a notebook review, 3-day review. On the left is a Moleskin extended notebook. I picked this up at Staples. It was $40. We did a review on it 4 days ago. Today is a 3-day review of it. And on the right, we're also making this a good alternative video. Is there a good alternative to the Moleskin notebook? And at Staples, you can find one. The one on the right is by Think Ink. It was $7.99, so $8, and is almost exactly alike to the Moleskin on the left, which actually cost $40. Now, do keep in mind, yes, $40 is expensive for the Moleskin, but it is the extended version with 400 pages. The regular sized Moleskin, which is 200 pages, is $25. So do keep that in mind, but still a significant amount of money more for the Moleskin notebook versus the alternative by Think Ink on the right for $8. And you actually get more pages with the Think Ink at 240 for just the regular size versus 200 for the more expensive regular sized Moleskin. But so much about the price. Let's actually go ahead and compare the features and see if we get anything special with the Moleskin or anything we do not with the $8 Think Ink. So let's actually start off by comparing looks, right? Don't judge a book by its cover, but in this case, I think we can, because $40 versus $8 is a pretty significant difference, right? And one that you might be conscious of. But if you're looking for, the vinyl cover with the strap, and also if you want the Moleskin in a hardcover, you can get it as well. But you can see our alternative is a brown leather. It's not vinyl like on the Moleskin. It does say bonded leather on the front, and of course you get the elastic strap to hold the cover shut so that any prying eyes will think twice before opening it. Now, opening the alternative Moleskin, the first page consists of 3 lines where you can write some personal information so that if you lose it, the notebook can be returned. And if you actually remember back to our Moleskin first impressions, it too has that feature. As you can see, I was able to write a couple of different bits of information and also leave a reward of $100, which I hope I have that amount. You can see that the alternative is trying to do the same thing. One other feature the Moleskin has, you'll notice, which makes it popular, is a ribbon divider in the center so that you can pick up where you left off from the day prior. And actually the Moleskin has 2. So you've actually got this black ribbon here, but perhaps because this is the extended version, you do get a second one, a pink colored one, or sort of raspberry colored one, so to speak. And another feature that makes the Moleskin so popular is the cardboard gusseted pocket at the back of the notebook, which you can use to store things in. But also very nice is the fact that the alternative Think Ink notebook has it as well. So as you can see at the very back of the notebook, it's got that cardboard gusseted pocket. And secondly, just like the Moleskin, you get that ribbon divider. This, of course, only being 240 pages compared to 400 pages for the extended version of the Moleskin. This has only one ribbon divider. Now, let me talk about what I have noticed after using the Moleskin for the first 5 days. First and foremost, it is an absolute joy to write in. But one feature actually is how flat it lays. So upon getting the notebook, you'll actually sort of realize that it's tight, it's sewn together tight, and as you can see, does need to be broken in. And boy, does it break in beautifully, because after having, written in this for a couple of days, as you can see, it does now lay flat on the table. At least the segments of the notebook that I have written in lay flat on the table. Now, whether or not this is a feature with the Think Ink notebook, I can't really say, because we're doing a first review of it now. But as you can see down the middle, it is binded by a sort of cloth piece of string, just like the Moleskin. It's actually kind of hidden here, but it does look to me that after, maybe using this, it will eventually break in and lay flat on the table. As you can see now, it's fairly easy to get this to lay flat on the table, which is a feature, like I said, is part of what makes the Moleskin so popular. It's enjoyable to write in. The soft cover definitely plays a part in that. Like I said, the ability to fold it flat, lay it flat on the table, of course, also plays a role in that. But this paper is actually acid-free. Now, if we actually just do a little bit of a touch test, a feel test of the Think Ink notebook, if we just rub our fingers around over the pages, is there a difference? And I would say absolutely yes. I would say that the Moleskin has just maybe a slightly finer paper. It definitely has a different texture to it. It almost feels like it has a repellent sort of texture, like it could repel maybe water, or as we showed you the other day, some stains like from maybe a sauce, like if you're eating with it and spill something on it. And also it does fairly well with bleed through, like if you use a Sharpie marker, for example. You can see on the first page from a couple of days ago, in the Moleskin, we used Sharpie marker and it bled through to the back side. But as you can see, I was still able to write neatly, legibly, without tearing the page, without ripping through the page with the pen. One thing you will notice about Think Ink is it does have a list of the features on the front, on the cardboard piece of paper that it comes with. And as you can see, says nothing actually about the paper being acid-free. Now, not going to test, spilling sauce on it, the Think Ink, or bleed through. That I am sure will happen. If you leave enough ink or use a heavier pen like a Sharpie, for example, it will bleed through. It does on the Moleskin, and the Moleskin obviously has the more premium paper in it. So to say that the Moleskin has better paper for bleed through is simply not true, and should also apply to this Think Ink as well. But not acid-free, and I will say there is a difference in the texture of the Think Ink versus the Moleskin. The Moleskin definitely has the more premium paper. In addition to the quality of the paper, after having used the Moleskin for several days now, one thing I have noticed is when writing notes, I do typically date them. So you can actually see I first divide a prior note with a shape like a box. I draw a box, which is actually kind of interesting because they say famous people like Pablo Picasso, for example, Pablo Picasso painted in shapes. He used a Moleskin notebook. So it's kind of interesting actually that I divide the notes by drawing a box. But one thing I do writing notes is when I start a new note, I date them. So here is a note that I have called YouTube Channel Strategy. I wrote this on 4/18. I dated it as such. And as you can see, what is really nice about the Think ink is it comes out of the box on every single page. At the top, you can see on the left, you can write a subject. So whatever it is that you're writing about, and then you can write a date. So they kind of help you out a little bit with the organization. Definitely will get you on the right track for note taking. Now, one feature I appreciate about the Moleskin is not all the time are you necessarily making bullet points or asterisks. And so it's actually really nice with the Moleskin is you get the entire page to write on. There are no margins, as where if you actually take a look at the Think ink notebook, you get a margin on both the left and the right hand side of each page. It's roughly 1/4 of an inch wide. But that is kind of a marginal thing. What I actually kind of dislike sometimes about the Moleskin is actually the fact that I do veer, I think is the proper word to describe what it is that you do when your notes are not exactly straight down and you kind of veer a little bit. You do have the potential to do that with the Moleskin, as where with the Think ink, with the margins on each side, should keep you from veering. After using the Moleskin, it's been roughly 5 days. It has been an absolutely phenomenal notebook. The most important thing is the acid-free paper in the Moleskin, which I do think plays a big role in the overall quality of the notes you take. The overall quality of the pages in the Moleskin feel finer. The pages in the Think ink do feel just maybe a little cheap. The Moleskin notebook is roughly $25. You can find a good alternative for as little as $8. It has the exact same features as the Moleskin, with the exception of acid-free paper. Overall, the quality of the paper on the Moleskin is better. It's a finer paper, as where on the Think ink here, our alternative feels just a little bit cheaper. And I think in the end, it will have an impact on the type of notes that you take, the overall quality of them. But the Think ink here, which I picked up at Staples for $8, is a good alternative. It has all of the same features as the Moleskin notebook. My name is John. I really hope you enjoyed this first impressions review comparison. Is a Think ink notebook, is this Think ink notebook at Staples for $8 a good alternative to the Moleskin? Yes, it is. Hit that like button, subscribe, comment down below for more. My name is John. Thanks again so much for tuning in, and I will see you guys in the next review.